Your third paragraph, how do you write it? This is where the main job comes. This is where the main exercise begins. Comparison. This is where you begin to compare different values. Thank you. So you can begin comparatively. That's what begins your third paragraph, because you want to compare. Comparatively, the consumption rate of so and so by Americans during their trips abroad to so and so country in the year so and so started off at about, you give the value now, 15%. However, it increased remarkably between 1994 to 1998, all right, attaining so and so percent, although there was a slight decline before it skyrocketed again to hit its climax with a value of, do you understand this? So you are not following the trend to describe, talk about them. You are using academic to describe these events, and you are including the values. I don't know if this is clear. So you talk about, if you have about 5 items on your chart to describe, what you need to do to manage your time in your paragraph 3, pick the 2 prominent events. 2 prominent events, most prominent events. Pick the 2 and talk about them extensively. Compare them extensively in your paragraph 3. Now, when you're talking about them extensively, use academic words. Use sequencers. Furthermore, when you have talked about them to a particular year, you want to continue. Furthermore, in the year, you continue to the next year, right? Describe the different events.
Now, in this case, what you're writing is, and let's say there are 3 years, you are talking about 1 year, and you talk about the first year, furthermore,
Additionally, or lastly,
use synonyms, you don't repeat.
yes, no. Don't repeat the sequencers. So once you have started, first and foremost, in the year 19, this is blah, 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 with the value of so and so, it further increased significantly to, right? Although there was a level of instability, or in bracket fluctuation, between 2004 2005, all right, that maintained the same rates as 2003. However, in the year 2006, there was a trajectory movement that that attained its peak or climax or apex. All right, there was a surge. So you need to bring in all of these terminologies to describe that situation, and you are bringing in the values. When you want to talk about values, that's a unit of measurement. If it's not very specific to a particular value, you can't be 101% sure. So what do? Use the word about, then you mention, you give the units. Once you want to mention the units, and you've observed that the y-axis, if tracing it to the y-axis, it does not hit a particular established unit. So it's between maybe 1 to 4 before the main unit identified on the chart. So if you're not so sure, use the word about and mention a figure around that particular unit. So that's the way you talk about the 2 most prominent items in paragraph 2. But make sure you are detailed. Make sure you are using the advanced expression. Make sure you're using the advanced academic words. Do you understand? So that's what you're to do. Use the word about when you are not very sure of value. Use the word about. Then give a particular figure within that particular space, right? It helps you to stay safe because examiners will use their ruler or whatever thing to trace. So if your value is way more and you are very precise without the word about, of course, it's going to be wrong. But when you use the word about, it's within that particular space. So it places you safe. So talking about the two most prominent events extensively in paragraph 3, you are good to go. When you get to paragraph 4, you can pick the remaining ones and talk about them shabbily. Do you understand? Don't go very intense because you don't have time. 20 minutes is like 2 minutes. So when you go to your paragraph 4, you also want to talk about few comparisons between the remaining ones, right? So for this, you now want to talk about in this year, this guy recorded so and so. Unlike this guy, that recorded so and so. Whereas the other guy, do you understand what you're now doing? Furthermore, you pick another year. Don't take it sequentially now. Do you understand me? Don't take the years, the period sequentially when you're picking the last set of objects. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you can pick the beginning, talk about it, now extend to 2, 3, 4 years after that, talk about the occurrence that year. Now proceed to the next 2, 3, 4 years and talk about it, and that's it. Now, if you have things to talk about in the area of similarities, it's also obtainable in paragraph 4. You compare some similar values. Now, these similar values must not follow each other. You can say in the year 1941, the consumption rate was 20%. Likewise, in the year 1953, it experienced the same rate, right? So you want to look at the different areas or years or periods that had similar values. You talk about them, and that's fine. And then, how do you close your paragraph 4? After doing the final comparisons or similarities and you apply your full stop, you can close your report writing by saying, based on the above, it can therefore be deduced that blah, blah, blah. Based on the above, it can therefore be deduced that maybe due to the trends, the current trends, the consumption rate of so and so would definitely outrun that. Do you understand? You look critically on the chart and make what you want to make out of it. Do you understand this? So that's the way to complete your report writing. Then you need to go through what you have written and make corrections where necessary. Do not spend a lot of your time. Like I said earlier, do not begin your writing test from or with your task 1 for academic test takers, right? Go and start your writing with a task 2 essay. Treat it very well. Proofread, make corrections where necessary, then go to your paragraph, your task 1. Do you have any question? Is it clear? All right. So this is it about report writing. So when we meet again tomorrow, we talk about your listening test. Right? Thank you.